I've been wanting to talk about my journey with personal style for a very long time, just because I think fashion and clothes feels and still can feel unattainable. So I just wanted to share my story when it comes to fashion, how it hasn't always been easy. Yeah, it hasn't been easy. Now I love fashion. I love clothes. I love putting together looks. It seems like it comes naturally, but it took some time. Our story begins. No, I'm just kidding. No, but really, in all honesty, I was born in the 90s, was dressed by my parents probably up until, gosh, I don't know. They were pretty good at letting me choose what to wear. Probably started dressing myself, maybe like second grade, maybe earlier. I was an average size kid growing up. I remember getting bigger maybe around fourth grade. I was bigger than like the other girls in my class. So I had to go from like kid sizes to juniors before everyone would join me like in middle school in those same sizes. So now that would have been like the late 90s, and then going into the millennium, 2000s diet culture was something scary. It was frightening. And growing up in that time, you could not be influenced. Like, how could you not? It was everywhere. You know, I used to consume a lot of 17 magazine, a lot of like those magazine quizzes, or like how to dress for your body type, how to dress for your skin color. If you have brown eyes, wear purple eyeshadow. When I tell you purple eyeshadow, for me, swimsuits for your body type. They had a lot of those. I love those things. And then with 17 magazine, thinking about that, America's Next Top Model, I loved watching that show. And of course there was diet culture in every movie, show, thing at the time. So all of that is being, consumed and imprinted on my brain. I also grew up Mormon, which I don't know, a lot of people know, but Did I say that in the last video? I probably did. Or the video. I feel like I've said that to this camera before. I grew up Mormon, so there was a lot of talk on modesty and wearing modest clothing. So that's just like another layer onto, what I was dealing with at the time. So I was always very like hyper aware of my body and pretty uncomfortable as well. Making sure I fit in, and then that modesty aspect to it as well. Yes, so my parents were probably just, we didn't have the most money. I mean, which is fair to say. I feel like a lot of people grew up kind of like us anyway. So things like Hollister and Abercrombie that were super popular at the time, I couldn't afford. And if I could afford it, I probably couldn't fit a lot of their sizes. So I became someone who was, I would tell myself I wasn't into fashion or looking cool or fitting in. At least that's what I would tell myself. I think it was a great defense mechanism at the time, and I'm so happy my younger self was able to rely on that. I, in high school, was quite the overachiever. I joined almost all the clubs. I joined a lot of clubs, and with clubs comes free t-shirts. At least for my school it did. So I had a lot of school t-shirts that I would wear. So it was pretty easy to get dressed. Every morning I would put on a pair of jeans that my mom and I got from JCPenney at the beginning of the year, and one of those shirts. Student council shirt, key club shirt, choir shirt, the school mascot shirt, my school high school shirt. Like I had a senior shirt. Like I had plenty of shirts. Class of 2010 shirt, my homecoming group shirt, my prom shirt, like plenty of shirts. So again, never really had to tap into my own personal style. I think after graduation and going into college, I went to a school that was predominantly white, predominantly very wealthy kids. And I was a poor college kid, I worked but it was really to just pay for school or food or gas. So not really clothes. And so I remember that's when I started thrifting. My style was just like, you just threw it on, and if it worked, it worked. I really didn't care. At least I think that's what I told myself, and it worked. There were times where I thought, if I had dressed better, maybe I'd catch the eye of a suitor, of a of a young man. Oh well. I'm trying to think of what I would wear. It was like oversized shirts and beanies and a random like skirt I found. I don't know. It was a weird time. Anyway, fast forward to me going into, well, not fast forward. After I graduate from college, I'm getting ready to, enter the workforce. The workforce. Why do people say that? I hate that. I'm getting my grown-up job. And I think, I work in like a creative field. I'm an art director. And so a lot of people around me wore black, like the producers, the production crew, stylists, makeup artists, everyone kind of wears black. And I was like, cool, I'm going to wear black. I was pretty depressed at the time as well. So on that, I was like, okay, I'm going to wear black, and I don't have to focus on my body. So yeah, so I could hide my body and it wouldn't be noticeable because everyone already wore black. At least on set we did. Then I started my weight loss journey. And it wasn't until I started losing weight that I started to branch out with clothes and color and style and print and fashion. And I honestly think it was because my body was more acceptable to society, and then acceptable to me. So then I could branch out, which is sad. I gained all that weight back and more. And I could have retreated back to a place of shame and guilt and embarrassment and wear all black. But what's the point? 2020, we lost so many people. I don't know if, I feel like we don't talk about that enough. We lost a lot of people in 2020. In a very unnatural way. And in 2021, I lost my dad. I'm not gonna cry because my makeup is done so lovely today. I did it perfectly. So you start thinking, what's the point of restricting myself and what I should wear based on how I feel about the body I'm in currently, if that makes sense. I wasn't gonna stop living. I wanted to live, if that makes sense. I wanted to live. That experience that we all went through was and is a great reminder that time is so precious, and life is not always guaranteed. So I was like, I'm just gonna start wearing what I want. I have bought so much swimwear since then, and 5 years ago I probably only owned one swimsuit and it was black. I'm pretty covered up. Now I have so many bikinis. It's crazy. But in general, just taking a chance and being bold with fashion. It's such a simple way of being rebellious in a world that doesn't want you to really be confident at all. So it's fun to play with clothes now. Play with colors, prints, patterns, whatever. I enjoy it now. I think it's so important to establish your own personal style, and it comes with time. But there are still pieces from me back then that are that linger even now, that I take with me. I dress for teenage me and child me, and that helps, getting dressed every day, thinking about them. I think me at 16 would be pretty impressed. I think she'd be very impressed at how we've embraced our bodies and fashion and clothes. Clothes really used to be the enemy, you know what I mean? Every dressing room experience, I either left it in tears or angry at my mom, which is not good. So, what a long way. Gosh, I don't know. Was there more I wanted to say? Let me know if you want me to talk more about personal style, how to cultivate your own personal style. This video was mostly about my journey to that. But I hope you enjoyed. Let me know. Yeah. Also, let me know if you want me to talk about growing up Mormon. I would love to dive deeper into that one day. I actually would like to write a book about that. A fiction book. Is that okay? Fiction based on characters. Anyway, real characters, real people. Maybe. Okay, I'm gonna stop right now. I'll see you on the next one.